Hello, 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 hello. Incredible greetings. I just had to go live one more time before my birthday. Woohoo! Guess what, y'all? It's my birthday tomorrow. Guess what? It's my birthday tomorrow. So I had to go live one more time. And then I'll have to go live tomorrow for my first live as a 43-year-old. So this is my last live at the age of 42. And tomorrow will be my first live at the age of 43. Yay! So I had to go live one more. All right, so I have to turn off the audio. I should have made that the title to scare people. I should have used it as clickbait. Damn it. I should have made the title my last live video ever. I should have named it that. Damn it. Crap. Dang it, I should have used that as clickbait. Time. And then I'll have to go live. All right, I had to turn my volume down. Okay, there we go. All shared out. Let me get the TikTok one going. Now that I'm all shared out over on the book face. Hello. I read that like Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello. Not sure if that was your reference when you wrote it, but that's how I read it. All right. Oh, it was. All righty. So, hello, 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 hello. Incredible greetings, everyone. Welcome to another live session with Shakeya, the professor of HSINK365. We are the home of the absolute greatest sublimation paper on earth. With our sublimation paper, you are able to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. No butcher paper required for most applications, as long as the ink isn't exposed or the substrate or blank itself will not leave some type of residue or whatever on your heat press. If it is exposed, you don't need a cover sheet. And we also have sublimation ink in 140 milliliter bottles. so you get more bang for your buck. Check out all of our products at hsink365.com. We're also the home of Silhouette Anonymous, where I've been teaching you guys how to use Silhouette Studio for the past 10 years. And our online academy for more detailed classes is 365 Creative Academy, but you can enroll in those classes on that same website, shop.hsink365.com. So I normally come live to do these types of videos to be able to help my creative, crafty community and share my 26 years of knowledge. And, you know, if you guys have questions, you're on the fence about something, you're nervous about something, scared, you're apprehensive, you know, all of those great words that just describes, you know, our reluctance to push forward, to try something new. You're afraid of messing up. If you have machines sitting in a box, you have printer that you're afraid to convert. You purchased all these blanks, you haven't subbed yet. Whatever it is, allow me to help you kind of get over that hump. Our mantra for this year was your research starts here. So the same way that you would put something into a search engine, hey, do that here, put it in the chat. The great thing about me is I know your world. I know this industry. So a lot of times I can figure out what it is that you're trying to say, to do, like what is it you're trying to get information on. When you don't really have the right keywords, I'm able to kind of decipher through that and figure out, okay, this is what you need. Like, that's my superpower, right? So do not hesitate. This is a safe space. I welcome questions. I don't care if I answered the question yesterday. Hell, I was just live this morning on TikTok. I don't care if I answered the question earlier today, if I wrote it out I typed it out and answered a question, you know, somewhere on the interwebs, you know, an hour ago, 10 minutes ago. I am here to be able to help you guys answer your questions, and just help you navigate this thing that's called, like, you know, you guys like crafting, whether it's for a business or just for your personal reasons, you know, why you craft. If it's just, you know, I'm someone that wants to make really cool things for my kids, my grandkids, my nieces, my nephews, my godkids, whatever it is, I'm here to help and hopefully, you know, maybe make that journey of learning a little less frustrating, a little less mistakes along the way, to where we're saving blanks, saving paper, saving ink. Yeah, so we just do these live videos. This is my last one at the age of 42. I turn 43. Tomorrow, May 30th, Geminis. I am a May baby, 80s baby. So this will be my last live, only at the age of 30, at the age of 42. I'll see you on the other side of 42, okay? So I was like, let me just go live. I do it every single year, where I do it live the day before my birthday, and then I do one on my birthday. Back then, I used to be doing lives every single day, so it wasn't like a big deal, but now I don't do them all the time. And today is Wednesday, which is my normal day that I always pencil in to go live. Sometimes I don't make it, but I was like, today we're definitely going to make it live because it's my birthday tomorrow. It's my birthday tomorrow. It's my birthday tomorrow. Ooh, ooh. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, get y'all off of this screen so people know that, hey, you won't see my face. Well, tomorrow, I'm going to try my best to finally find my cord and hook up my camera so y'all can at least see my face tomorrow. Yeah. So let me take this off, which actually, let me come off of this screen. I don't want to make it seem like it's like a, what's this thing called? A Photoshop tutorial, although you can ask questions. This is actually one of the designs that we worked on last night in our Photoshop Essentials class. So we're just going to come here for now. And this is the website that I was telling you guys about that has all of our amazing, incredible sublimation paper and ink. All right, so I see a question here. I'm a freehand artist and I have several. No, you can't. Well, I'm not sure what you're trying to ask. But we're trying to ask to advertise on my page. I don't just say yes or no to that. I have to definitely vet you and kind of see what you are about. And Wish is kind of fishy for some folks, so I don't know. Do I still have roll paper? We have the fast dry paper available, which I keep forgetting. I need to make my collections thumbnail for the roll paper to make it easy to find. It's here, so you just have to scroll down. It's in with all this stuff. So the tacky is sold out, but the fast dry is in stock. And tomorrow, or probably Friday, will be the last day for the pre-order for tacky rolls. So you're going to get it at a discounted price, but you do have to wait for it because we have to wait for it to be produced and shipped here, and we do sea freight. So you do have to wait, but you're able to get it at a lower price. Once the shipment comes in, whatever we have ready to ship will be at the regular price. Our site is HSINK365. If you ever forget, you can always go to the link in our bio, and it is in our link tree. But it is HSINK365, the numbers.com. Okay, so we have a question here. Greetings, Professor. Happy B-Day. I want to crop text to multiple pictures in a single letter. Okay, wait. I want to crop text to multiple. Are you saying you want, is it that you want to crop multiple pictures to a single, like within a single letter? Because it's like crop text to multiple pictures in a single letter. That's, yeah. So I need a little bit more clarity, because I mean, is it that you want to put multiple pictures in a single letter? So you want to do crop to text by putting multiple pictures in a single letter? Okay. So in order to do that, you cannot do multiples at one time. So if you had like all of your pictures there and you were trying to just crop them all, you can't do it that way. You have to do them one at a time, unless you're going to kind of arrange your pictures first, which I'm going to show you an example of it, but I want to just explain first. So unless you're going to arrange your pictures first and then what's what I'm looking for? Flatten it out, you're not going to be able to just do it in one crop. We do have a video on that goes over multiple cropping. So that, I'm going to show here, but if you want to be able to see it and go right to it on YouTube, whenever you're looking for anything that, like, want to see if I have a video, if it's anything silhouette related, type in Silhouette Anonymous. If you don't know, let me see, do I have it on here? Okay. Do I have that YouTube channel on here? But it's Silhouette Anonymous, and then whatever your keyword is. I need to go back through here and fix some of my banners, because I don't have one, because ever since we went to 365 Creative Academy, I don't have one that just says Silhouette Anonymous. But Silhouette Anonymous, and then whatever your keyword is. So, and just so you'll put in multiple crop, and it'll take you right to that video. So now I'll just show, and I'll just do an S for my name. The type of font that you choose is going to be very, very, very critical to how the pictures show up and whether or not things are cut off. When you're doing pictures, I highly recommend using a font that has some weight to it. Like, it's really a thick, a nice thick font. Some people kind of go to, like, was the Impact? It's wide, but it's also narrow. I don't always like recommend fonts, because I have a lot of fonts that I don't have fonts that are from like defont.com. I have some that are from like Creative Fabrica. I don't know which ones came from Creative Fabrica, which ones didn't. But I also have a lot of like I said, a lot of fonts that I just purchased from different places. So you may or may not be able to find them. You just want to go through and get a really thick font when you are cropping pictures to text. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, I don't know what's going on with my system right now. Now, guys, you do not have to wait until one question is answered before you post yours. I like to be able to flow smoothly from one question to the next. So we do ask that you, if you have a question for me, that you post it in the chat. That way I can flow right to yours. Because when there's like no questions there, and it's like, okay, kind of like dead air. Because these sessions are based around answering your questions and providing you the help that you need to complete a project, something that you're stuck on, something that you're inquiring about, you're not sure about like which printer to choose, or like, you know, you're in need of a new one, what machine, like those types of questions, feel free to ask about what websites and things like that. Want to pick my brain about something, go ahead, put it in the chat. Want my perspective on something, put it in the chat. That way we have the next thing to go to once one question is finished. All right, don't know what happened. Let's go back to text. Why do you keep freezing? All right. All right, that one's kind of thick. All right. Now I'm going to just drag and drop a few pictures. So I'll just do the ones that we had last night from our Photoshop class, all these ones of Angel Reese. And I'm going to just shrink them down some. And I'm going to duplicate. And I'm going to send this to the back. All right, so I have this picture here. I'm going to put this one here, and we'll bring this one to the front. I'm going to still send it to the back. I just need to see where it lands. Okay, this may not work there. The wider picture may work better. So let's put this one here. And we'll put this one here. Okay. All right. Now, little things like right here. Now, if I crop it, that's going to end up in that area. But once I crop, because I didn't go all the way here to the top, it'll make that like an individual piece. And then I'll be able to just delete that part out. So you don't have to go in. Now, if it came all the way up here, I would have to go in with my edit points and move it away from that area. But with this, once I crop it, because it's separated, I'll be able to click on that one and just delete it. So we're going to click on the S. And right now I know I'm not on the S because my selection box is just on this top picture. So when something's not filled with color, you have to be very, very careful. You know, you have to really, really be on the line to make sure that you have it selected. Okay. So I'm going to click on that. Another thing that you can do is fill it with color and take your transparency down to where you can see through it. That also works. And we're going to copy. Okay. And then, so you don't have to paste in front. You can do the first one and then paste in front. So you want to hold down Shift and click on the first picture that you want to crop down. So we're going to click on this back one and we're going to go over to modify and we're going to choose crop. Oh, hold on. I forgot to, no, I copied it for a reason. I'm going to go paste in front. You do have to paste in front because I need to now remove the color. My students know whenever we crop, we remove the color because of what happened just like right there where, because the S is a bigger part and the picture is smaller, it's going to take on the properties of the bigger element, which is the S. So we want to paste in front and then remove the color. You have to remove it. Hold down shift, click on the image and crop. You see how it filled in that time. Then we're going to right click, paste in front. And I'm going to remove the color. Now, technically, I can copy this again using my keyboard shortcuts. That way, the next time that it pastes, it doesn't have color in it. The first time I just did it because it's easier to select. So if I go Control C or Command C to copy, which while you're not working, let's just go up here to edit and then just go copy because my keyboard shortcut wasn't working. Hold down shift. I'm going to click on the middle picture and crop. And remember I said, because see right here, it's technically there, but since this picture is going to cover that, I'm not worried about it. But up here, I don't want this part to cover this angel. So I'm going to click off, click on that little piece and delete. Now over here, I can't just click on it and delete because it went past the bottom of like this curve of the S. I can use edit points to pull that back, but for how this is going to be stacked up, it's not even going to matter because this picture will end up being in front of this one anyway. So it won't matter. So we're just going to go paste in front. This is the one that had no color. So I can go hold down shift, click on the image and crop. And see, it covers that one up. So now I have 3 pictures inside the S. Incredible greetings. And I'm sorry, y'all. Greetings. Hello. That's my city girl, period. Hi, Lisa, Jerry, Pat. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Let's see. I'm starting my search for Peppa Pig elements for birthday party favors. I know I should check the pixels, but what would be the best type of file? PNG, JPEG? It doesn't matter. Whichever one has the best resolution. And SVG, of course, would be one where it doesn't matter on the size because it's vector. So it does not matter. Next question. You are very welcome. Incredible greetings. Guys, if you're watching in a group, I cannot see comments that you put on the group post. You have to click on the video and come to the actual video in order for me to see your questions. I cannot see them if you comment on the post that was shared to the group. You have to click on the video if you have a question for me. You are very welcome. Mm-hmm. Stop. Say your brother. No other questions? So this session is going to be 2 questions. All right. Oh, you heard him. He's asking me for cereal. I want to print metallic colors. I don't have any. Can you show how to make them? I don't make metallic colors. Yeah, I normally get either backgrounds that are already metallic, or I will like, there are gradients that have kind of a metallic effect to it, where it's a mixture of, you know, whatever the colors, like a darker color, lighter color, and things like that. And there's different. I don't make them. That's just tedious for me. There are some great artists out there that make amazing metallic, you know, gradients and things like that, or go into systems. That's not something that I know how to do it, but they can be tedious, especially if you're doing the gradient version, because you have to move, you know, you have to have the right mixture of light colors and mid-tones and shadows to kind of give it that look. So it's not something I create. I highly recommend downloading them. Can you edit or modify a font in Silhouette Studio? Depends on what it is that you're trying to edit or modify. Because you have edit points in Silhouette Studio, you can pretty much modify and edit anything. Being able to just use your knife tool to cut something off allows you to edit it. Being able to add a shape to something and weld it, you know, it allows you to edit. Now it's a little bit different than, you know, like if you have Illustrator and you have a font, like being able to like draw in like a little piece and then like it connects to it, or being able to like pull it and things like that. That is a little bit different. But you technically can still do it in Silhouette Studio by creating the shape, using your edit points, or creating a shape and welding it, or subtracting something from one part. But yes, you can modify it. Hold on, because I guess MJ, Papa, are you trying to get cereal yourself? Yeah. Be careful and bring it here. Why? Because you're going to waste it everywhere. Okay. Bring me your cup, bring me your cereal. Have I worked with Kittle? Not really. I kind of looked into it because of that. I forgot what his name. Is it Hustle Ninja? It's not a good. So none of these sites are ever going to be good alternatives to Photoshop, because essentially it's just AI, and there are pre-made files, and like you're going to be able to like retype. There's already, you know, like files or templates, and you're just going to like retype words or remove certain things out of it. So it's kind of like plug and play. It's really no different than, kind of sort of like no different than Canva, but it's just that they have like pre-made stuff. Those elements are made in something like Photoshop. So it's not an alternative to it as far as like full on designing. But for those who are not going to full on design, because they have a lot of preloaded graphics, you know, it's great it's great for certain users, especially if you're not great with kind of like doing like a general search, or wanting to have subscriptions to a lot of different sites that have graphics. Like for me, I have a bunch of I have PNG Tree, I have Vector Stock, I have Shutterstock, I have Canva. So, and then of course, regular Google searches. Would it be a good idea to send a PDF from Studio to convert to PNG, how you showed on Photoshop? A good idea for just to have a PNG? Yes. I don't ever recommend saving as a PNG from Silhouette Studio. Now from Kittle, I don't use it. So their PNG, like saving as a PNG from there, it may work. I just know that Silhouette Studio puts great pixels around the edge. I don't use Kittle like that to know if you save it, how does it come in, you know, as a PNG. So if you're referring to saving it from Kittle as a PDF and then taking it into Photoshop, I can't say. But you can always easily check. You just save it as a PNG, open it up in Photoshop, put a colored background behind it. If you see pixels, then it doesn't save well. If you don't see pixels, you don't have to do the extra step. I only recommend that because I know how files save as a PNG from Silhouette Studio. So if I were to take this file, and we're going to turn the line color off, and let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so we're going to go 10 by 7. Okay, where is it? Oh, I'm waiting for the little pop-up for the PNG. Oh, what'd you do? Oh, I don't know why it disappeared. So I'm going to go transparent background. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go over here to Photoshop. Oh, you know what? I need to unpin this Photoshop and I need to pin this one because this is the new one. All right, so I'm going to just go new. And I'm going to drag and drop that PNG over yonder. And I'm going to solid color. You see here? Uh-oh. Those little pixels right there. When they go to set up for DTF and they control click to be able to get where the pixels are, that will potentially pick up and it's going to end up printing. Not say potential pick up, it is going to pick up and you're going to end up with white around your image. Whereas if I were to go and go file, save as, save to hard drive, I'm going to go PDF. And now if I come over here, file, open. Oh, it's not finished saving yet. How can I print my graduation stole? I have it in Canva and it's not printing right. Please help. How did you say? Okay. Okay. Did you design it from a template or did you make the design page size yourself? That's my first question. All right. So file, open. Open. Okay. Oh, duh, Shakeya. I got to put you over here. Well, I can do it on this one. And solid color. Okay. Pull that below. And we're going to zoom in. And you see, we don't have that gray line from Silhouette Studio. From Silhouette Studio as a PNG, from Silhouette Studio as a PDF. You don't have that. So it's going to be best for you to do it that way. I cannot speak for Kittle. So I would have to give it a try. PDF from Silhouette Studio to Kittle, convert to PNG. Yeah, if you can open up a PDF in Kittle, if it allows you to do that, to be able to save, yes. Or you can always do Photo P as well, because that's free. I made that mistake one time with Silhouette Studio. Are you still there, Tatum? Did you design your stole from a template that was already sized and everything, or did you create the file yourself? She says that tidbit is a time saver for real, for real. Hey, Aquisha. Come on, guys, over on TikTok. Double tap the screen. Let's get us to at least 2,000 likes, guys. Even though you're not asking questions over here, I'm pretty sure you're finding value in the information that's coming from the questions over on Facebook and YouTube. If you found value in it, double tap the screen if it helped you. If you're over on Facebook and YouTube and you have not liked the video, please do so. If you're watching over on either of the YouTube channels, you have to click out of the live chat in order to be able to see the thumbs up and give the video a thumbs up and even share it out. If you're over on Facebook, give it a thumbs up. Well, you have to come to the actual video. If you just happen to be watching it inside of a group, you're not going to see a button to share. So you have to click on it. Or if you want to tag someone, if they're not in the group that you are viewing from, they're not going to see the tag, or they won't be able to see it until like they're approved to the groups. So click on the video, because all of the videos are public videos. The privacy is set to public, so anyone can view them, and you can tag anyone, you can share it out, but you have to click on the actual video. My name is Shakeya the Professor. I have been teaching online for nearly 10 years now. I have been in this industry for about 26, going on 27. Yay. Because I'll be 43 next year. Tomorrow. I'm like the next day. I don't know what the heck I'm thinking. I'll be 43 tomorrow. And so I come on, I do these live videos to be able to help you guys, to answer your questions, your frustrations, things that you can't figure out. I was waiting on Tatum, things like, printing graduation stoles, or you're having printer issues. Now you do have to stick around, because I'm going to give you some follow-up questions. I don't give blanketed answers, because I can just give a general answer, but it may not help you, because there may be some other factors. It might be how your file is set up. Is it scaled, to size? I have to know what size printer you are using. Did you set it up, or did you save it to where it was one panel at a time? Was your design set up with both panels, but you only have an 8.5-inch wide printer? There's a lot of factors when it comes to me providing an answer to you. So you got to kind of, if you ask your question, stick around for the follow-up question and for the answer. Anyway, we're able to donate for your time. Sure. If you would like to ever send a thank you, my Cash App is HSINK365. Or you can do it via PayPal, which it should be in the description of this video. It's just sillaholics@gmail.com. Now, YouTube has super chat and super stickers, but YouTube does keep 30% of that. And then stars on Facebook, I forget. I think it's like a 1 penny. I think I get like a penny per star or something like that. Thank you for the rose, Aquisha. What is super chat? It's just on there where like super chat allows you to send a certain amount combined with like a comment, or you can just send it. The super stickers, there's normally like pre-made like little emojis or like little things, whatever. Like it's just like a little sticker, and each one has a different value, and you just kind of send that, and whatever it is, we get 70% of whatever that super chat or super sticker is. But I think you have to click out of the live chat to get to it. Or actually, no, it might be at the bottom. Might be like a little dollar sign or something like that at the bottom. Great info about the gray border on PNG files from Silhouette. With that being said, when you want to convert an image for DTF printing, how would you suggest doing the PNG files, Photoshop only? No, I do it. This is what I do. I save it as a PDF from Silhouette Studio. I go into a program that can open up PDFs, but also has an option to export or save as a PNG. Now, me personally, I actually send all of my files as a PDF file. The people that I order my DTF prints from, they allow me to send a PDF file because they're going to do exactly what I just did. They're going to open it up in Photoshop. They're going to bring it in as CMYK. They're going to go control click. They're going to contract the pixels, and then they're going to save it as a TIFF file. They don't even print from the PDF file. They have to convert it into a TIFF file. So the ones who I order from, I don't get no flack for sending it as a PDF because it opens up the same way a PNG does. But they also know that I know what I'm doing and it's going to be scaled to size. I'm saving it from a program where the PDF is transparent. Now, if you were to do like from Canva and you go, I'm not sure if all of their PDFs are, if their PDF is even transparent, but from there, a PDF may not be transparent. If you do print to PDF, it's not going to be transparent. You have to have business edition and be saving as a PDF from Silhouette Studios business edition. And then you can open that up in Photoshop, Photopea, Illustrator, Affinity. And as soon as you open it up, you just go to export it out as a PNG. Next question. All information is based off of your questions. If you guys don't post any questions, we have dead air. I am here to help you guys with where you need help at. I'm providing you assistance based off of my 26 years of experience within this industry. Birthdays aren't a big deal to me like that, so probably nothing. I mean, if anything, go out to eat. That's about it. That's about it. I'll be live. That's what I like to do. I'll be working. I still have grad orders to do. Can y'all hear MJ? Because to me, they're loud. But I don't know if y'all can hear him in the room on the like his game with his friends. Should you recalibrate your machine if you're having trouble with print and cut? Unless your machine went bumpity bump and you moved across country, it's highly unlikely that your calibration is that off. If you're having trouble with print and cut, you need to look at what your process is. Whenever you guys are having issues with print and cut, I know you may not think about it in the moment, but I need for you to record your process. That is the only way that I can actually, give you sound advice or direction on what could be going on with your specific print and cut issue. But I highly doubt it's a matter of recalibration. Calibration really only affects how it cuts if your cut is like way off. Calibration does not affect registering in any way, shape, or form. It's only where those cut lines are at once it registers. If it's a little bit off, then it might be how you have it on the mat. Like if the calibration is off, like the cut is going to be really, really, really off, especially if you don't have your settings dialed up too high. So there's a lot of factors that's going to affect your print and cut. But like I said, unless you've moved it cross country and it just went bumpity, 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 bump, I highly doubt calibration is going to be your issue. What is the correct way to save a design to be able to open? Wait. Correct way to save a design to be able to open it, also modify it on. You're saving it from where though? If you're designing it in Silhouette Studio, I'm not sure what you're asking. Are you designing it somewhere else? How would you approach a school, elementary school, about selling the grad items, sports items, and other things to the students? It's better if you have some sort of like printed information that you like have that out. I would highly recommend finding out when their PTA is meeting, because normally like administration is there. Find out from the school, like if you're trying to go directly to the schools, you have to a lot of times be on their approved list for like the school. At least for here, you have to be on the approved list for the school board in order to be able to get things like directly through the school where it's coming from the school accounts. So that would be the first thing. And there are requirements when you're going through that. Like you have to have your ducks in a row. You have to have your business set up. You have to have your liability insurance and things of that nature. And then it's not always a guarantee. At least I know for here, for Dade County, when they're going through, like they're looking for vendors, they have to get bids or quotes, should I say, from several places. And at least one of those has to be a minority. And then it kind of goes from there. It is a lot easier for certain things to go through booster clubs, like certain organizations where it's not coming from school funds, PTAs, things of that nature. When using Cricut Maker and creating an invitation, I can't get the score line to fold evenly. It's always a small overlap. I don't. I know about like designing in Cricut Design Space, but I don't use a cutting machine for Cricut. So I don't use those to kind of know if it's off. It could be if the scoring tool is not like I'm not sure, like if it wobbles, things of that nature. Whenever I do invitations, I never use my cutting machine to get my score line. I'm always going to use a scoreboard. Like I don't know if it's just like old school like that, but I never, ever, ever use any of my 6 cutting machines to do score lines. I create it and I'm always going, like, even if I have it cut out the full thing, I always use a scoreboard. Oh, okay. Let's see. Designing it in Silhouette Studio. I tried to save it to my computer. Then I tried to open it later in Silhouette Studio, but I was not able to modify the design. Modify what part of the design? Was it the text part of it? Because if you're saving it, so if you're here and you're going file, save, like when you go to save and it pops up, or I'm going to go save as, and you're saving it as a Silhouette Studio file, everything is in layers and you should be able to change colors, do all of those things. The only way that you will not be able to change text is if you modified it and you did not if you ungrouped it, if you made a compound path, if you welded it, so things like that, you would not be able to modify your text. But everything else, you should still be able to move it around, change colors. Yeah, unless you flattened it as a PNG or a JPEG, it should still be in layers and you should still be able to modify it. Please hold. Had to make sure he fed those dogs. If possible, can you give us a quick tutorial on saving PDF in Silhouette Studio and converting to, I just did it. So it's here. So we saved it as a PDF. You just open it, and I'll just go back through it. So I'll close this. No. File, open. You're going to open up the PDF. If it's for DTF, just go ahead and change it to CMYK. You're going to hit OK. As soon as it opens, you're going to go File, Export, Quick Export as a PNG, and save. Oh, it's on my cloud drive. I have to go to the regular one. Documents. Oh, wait. No. Documents. Save. That's it. It was text with pictures. I think I saved it as a PDF. So even if you saved it as a PDF, now the text you may not be able to edit, but when you open it back up, whenever you open up a PDF in Silhouette Studio, it's going to ask you, do you want to open it as a vector or do you want to open it as an image? If you open it as an image, you're flattening it. You're basically making it a PNG. But if you open it as a vector, all of the layers will be there. But it's best if you're going to go in and edit it, you should, well, for one, you should always be saving your files as a Silhouette file. No matter what else you do with it, if you're going to save it as a PDF, if you're going to save it as a JPEG, save it as a PNG, save it as an SVG, there should always be your raw file, which is saved as a Silhouette file, no matter what. I'm not I was just showing someone how to go to Photoshop to save something as a PNG, but whatever program, I'm not really working in Photoshop. This angel was set up in Silhouette Studio. Oh, how many did she have? So whether you have Photoshop questions, Silhouette questions, or Canva questions, you are more than welcome to put them in the chat. So yeah, if you saved it as a Silhouette file, that should open. So what aren't you able to edit? Is the whole thing just one flat one and you can't separate anything? You can't ungroup, you can't do any of that? Is it just the text you're trying to edit or the design itself? You can't change the colors, you can't ungroup, you can't do any of that. If that's the case, then you save that as a flattened image. And if you don't have the original version of it, there's nothing that you can do, because if you close that out, you didn't save the raw file. So you can't go back and get it. You're going to have to start that all over again. How do you use modify, add, edit points? To get to your edit points, you double click. Oh, wait, ungroup. It's grouped to something. You double click and you're going to see edit points. To modify them, you click, it'll turn white. You move it, you adjust your handles. To add a point, you hover over the line. It goes from an arrow, and when you're over it, it's going to be like a finger. Then it will turn, because you have it in point edit mode. It's going to be a line and an arrow. You click, that adds a point, and you move it and you adjust the handles. No, I will not be doing I don't ever do upgrades. I'm not that person that's like, oh my God, it's brand new. I don't like kinks. I don't want to be their guinea pig. I don't want to help anybody figure out their system. I will update once most of the kinks have been worked out. I don't like being people's guinea pigs. They don't pay me to be a guinea pig and be on their beta team to figure stuff out. So me personally, I don't automatically go into anybody's beta updates. I just don't. That's just one of my rules. Especially because, especially if it's a program that I use for business, I'm seeing so many people who rely on Canva and now they're like, oh my God, I don't know where this is. I don't know where that is. I have this order. Can somebody help me? How do I go back? If that is your primary one, like, why did you choose to be the guinea pig? Like, it was that important to be a part of the first 1 million to go to this whole glow up thing? No, thank you. I'm not paid to teach it like that. Like, yeah, I don't jump on beta testing new upgrade stuff ever. The only reason why I went to photo, even though it's been out for a while, the only reason why I am now on Photoshop 2024 is because Photoshop 2023 stopped allowing me to use my pattern overlay. That's the only reason why. I mean, and it's been around, 2024 has been around, of course, I think it released though, officially like at the end of 2023, but I'm like, I just updated today because I couldn't use my pattern overlay. I rarely use Canva, so I wouldn't even know what's new and old. In your event decor and favors, the supply list is not there. Should I check one of your Facebook videos? Will it be added? So most times, because I'm always like in the class and I'm going through it, and you can always go back and like write stuff down. I will say, like, I'm trying to get better with that. I don't have a team of people that like writes all that stuff down and creates it creates them. Also, I don't have, like, to be honest, I don't have like specific use this brand because I have been doing them for so long. A lot of times when I'm doing certain things, whichever paper I see first is what I'm going to pick up. I don't have necessarily a preference. And I know it's some people, they'll do these great lists, but you don't even know, like, they'll put this list out for paper. You don't even know what type of printer the person has and whether or not that paper is going to work. So in my classes, I talk about those things. Like I'm saying, you want to have, a quality paper. Are you a matte person? Are you a glossy person? And for the longest time, I only printed on matte paper. I don't really care for gloss because gloss doesn't photograph that well. So it used to be a struggle for me to really recommend glossy papers to people because I was more of a matte girl. But a lot of other, like those who attended the class, they wanted more of like glossy. So that's when I eventually got into like the koalas, like for glossy stuff. But I'm a matte girl. Like I love the way colors look on matte paper. And then I spend a lot of money on paper. Certain brands that I use aren't available in certain sizes. So I just give general supply lists. You need paper, you need a glue gun, you need glue sticks, you need glue. I prefer Barely Art. Some people like the glitter. What is it? Glitter art. Some people like Aline Tacky. Some people like, I actually do like Elmer's. I like Elmer's clear glue, but you just need liquid glue. So I give like the general things. You're going to need craft sticks. It doesn't matter if you get them from Home Depot, if you get them from Amazon, you get them from Walmart, you get them from Hobby Lobby, if you get them from Dollar Tree. I just give the general like things of like what you will need. And I'm normally talking about those like in the class. All you need for chip bags and water bottles is paper, adhesive. That's it. Paper, adhesive. Now it's up to you if you, and like some things have more than one adhesive. You can get them all and try it out and figure out which one's going to be best for you. Some people do it with hot glue, but then it goes back to that whole paper thing, right? If certain papers doesn't work well with hot glues because you're using the cheaper hot glue that's like the little small one, the little cheap glue sticks that get hard too fast. They end up popping off. Well, I use a 300-watt glue gun. If you're not looking, because you're like, okay, I'm not going to really be doing this. I'm not really trying to buy a $75 glue gun. I'm not trying to spend, like buy a big box of glue sticks. Then my method and what I'm going to show in the class isn't going to work for you. It's really hard for me. I'm trying, but then that means that I've moved on from beginner newbie type equipment because I know better. I know that those don't work. I've thrown them all away. It's like in my mind, I'm like, do I go buy the cheap stuff that I know does not work because I've been there years ago and I went through so many of these stupid glue guns? Do I buy it just to show them this in this class? But to me, it's not worth it to waste that money because I'm never going to use it outside of that class. I'm going to go and say, this is what I recommend. Now, if you decide to just use whatever glue gun you have, if it falls apart, hey, it's not what I recommended. I don't know what type of glue sticks you're using. I don't know what paper you're using. That's why I'm always saying, here's all the methods. My classes are long because I give you all of the methods. So then it's like, okay, if you want to use double-sided adhesive, okay, do you want to use the cheap stuff? Do you want to get the good stuff? Are you willing to be like me where I have 3 different sizes of double-sided heat tape? Or you just want to kind of get the one, but then you have to put multiples on there. When it comes to liquid glue, Elmer's glue is going to be too thick. Are you wanting to get the Barely Art or glitter, craft glitter, art glue, something like that? So there's like, it becomes so many variables, and you then have to just decide which method is going to be best for you. Because if I give you a list, you're not going to necessarily need all these things to just do one order of chip bags and water bottle labels. You have some people that do water bottle labels where they're printing them onto adhesive, or sticker paper. I was about to say adhesive vinyl, but sticker paper. I don't. I print them on regular paper. I put glue on the end. I do not take the paper off of the water bottle, and I just glue those little tabs together. So how I do mine, it's really, you probably have all of the supplies that you need already in your craft supplies. Paper, adhesive, and you can do what's that thing called? A paper crimper. And that's about it. That's the only other thing that would be like a supply that you may not have, and that would be a paper crimper. I want to get what you use because I trust you. So yeah, I've shown most of the things. Like I have a 300-watt glue gun. The brand I have is Arrow. There are, I think it's like the cheaper one because there are some other ones that are pretty up there in price. But mine, I always say I recommend, if you don't want to go the route that I have, I recommend trying to get at least 80, but really 100 watts is going to be the best, like the better option if you're afraid of burning yourself, because the 300-watt one, you touch that glue, it will send shock waves up your nervous system if you touch that hot glue, because at 300 watts, that ish is hot. So I always caution people, like this ain't for play. This is a very powerful glue gun. But I've built up the tolerance for it. But like I said, I have a 300-watt. I would say beginner one, or intermediate, at least try the 100-watt glue gun. If you're like, okay, I don't know if I want to, at least 80. Anything lower than that, it's going to probably be pointless. If I take on a job, I want to do it the best way. Shoot, it's my business rep. I want to exceed expectations. It's not always for me. All right, cool beans. But in the classes, in the sessions, like especially when I go through. So if you want to know like the real supplies, I think I may go through like in the actual class, but on the assembly day, I'm talking about like all the different supplies that I'm using in that moment. But paper, koala, you can't go wrong with it. You can just get the single-sided 30, it's like a 36, 34, something like that weight. Barely Art Precision Craft Glue is the liquid glue that I prefer, or Aleene's Tacky. Sure Bonder glue sticks, and a 100 and up glue gun, and a paper crimper. I look back on what you told us a while ago about the heat tape and doing tumblers. I got the sizes you said from HS Ink, and I love it. The best way is better than doing it subpar. Absolutely. What type of adhesive do you use for water bottles? I just use, if I am doing it like myself, I'm obsessed with my Barely Art glue. So I just put a little bit on there and then I just seal it. I'm doing it while I'm in front of the television. That way I don't have to put double-sided adhesive on it, peel it off. So if I'm doing them and I'm setting them up myself, I just put some Barely Art glue on the back, seal it only at the end. If I am doing it for a client and I'm just going to send it to them, I put a piece of double-sided adhesive on the end and in the middle, to make it, because I don't know how familiar they are with putting it together. So I try and make it easy for them. And I give them instructions to put the middle one, take that off, put that on the water bottle. That way you can meet it around the back and it won't shift. But if I'm doing it myself, I just use my Barely Art Precision Glue. Do you plan to incorporate Canva videos onto your page? Why or why not? I do it like in Q&As, but like actual tutorials and stuff like that. I said that I would, but Canva is annoying. Like it's too many. It's almost sometimes worse than who do people call? Cricut Design Space. I use Canva more so for brochure type things. I'm using it for like ebooks, you can do it for planners. I don't create designs in Canva. If anything, I go into Canva and I'm going to pull an element like I did for the TOOTH Airy. I pulled out images, I saved them as a PNG, brought them into Silhouette Studio, and then I'll design there. So I don't typically use Canva like a lot of, and I use it for videos. I've used it to edit videos, but I don't create full-on designs there. She says, ooh, I burn myself all the time in the toaster oven. But yeah, this one, like every time I come in here, like when I want to pan, like I can't use my space bar to pan around. That's annoying. Zooming in and out, like I just cannot. I will say, I do like using Canva, like if I am, waiting in a waiting room. When I had to go to the hospital with Zaini Mani, I was able to use Canva somewhat. The internet kept going out inside the hospital, so I couldn't use it. But when I was able to, like when we were downstairs waiting, I can use, and I have a Samsung Galaxy, so I had my little stylus, and that makes it a little bit easier to do things. So I like that I can utilize it on my phone. I'm on the go, and I want to be able to like do certain edits and stuff like that to like videos or brochures that I'm working on for clients, or like small flyers. I do use it for advertisements, or like when we were doing the Heat Win, I use it for that because it made it easy to kind of do it on the go and just change it for like the name of the, like whichever game it was, or like when we were doing the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, we won game 1. I use it for that, and it just makes it easy to edit it, save it, and post it right to social media. But I don't really use it how the average person is using. Like they're creating all of these designs in Canva. It just doesn't work for me. I don't use it that way. Do you have a class on how to make and sell digital products? I teach designing. So selling a digital product, teaching design, you're well over halfway there. And then in my business classes, I teach you about marketing, branding, finding your audience. So I don't teach anything that's like specific for just digital products. If you are focused and you're locked into the classes that I teach about designing, you're creating your digital product. Only digital product I don't necessarily teach is if you're trying to do classes and courses and things of that nature. But any design can be a digital, like it's just saving it as a JPEG, a PNG, an SVG file, or a Canva template, or a Photoshop file, an EPS file. But you're still just designing. And then when we had the business session, I talk about branding, marketing, setting up your Facebook page, how you can use it, which websites you can use, the differences between Etsy and having your own website. So I teach just business in general, whatever your business is. We had someone that made candles in one of our business classes. So I just don't, go to where I know it would be. It'll probably bring more people in if I go and say, oh, I have a class just for this because it's what's trending. But then that means I'm now taking up time to do this one thing when it's already incorporated in other stuff. Is there a website that gives the hex code for different sports teams? Yes and no. So it depends on how, if you're going to use Photoshop, yes, you can use that. So you're just going to go to Google and you're just going to put NBA team colors. It's going to be the easy, you can put NBA, NFL, whoever, because it's going to take you to team colors. You're going to go there, but also it's on their Wikipedia page. You go to, I'm just going to put Miami Heat logo. I'm going to go to their Wikipedia page, and their colors are here. So where if you take the hex code is on there, but if you take these, actually some of them do have the hex code. I don't know why. Let me see. Hold on. I think if I click on, is it the logo? Hold on. I know someone I've had on their Wikipedia page, it had the hex code, but team colors, you have NFL basketball for NBA and Euro League, you have NCAA, you have all of the different divisions, you have NHL, you have soccer, all the different division or leagues there. You have baseball, MLB, NPB, IPL, and then there's some other ones there: racing, hockey, cricket, lacrosse. But if you have a converted printer, these mean absolutely nothing. These mean absolutely nothing with your EcoTank converted printers because the colors are going to be off. Converted printers in general, they won't be exact a lot of the times. If you're designing in something like Silhouette Studio or Canva, you want to print out your color chart and go and find the closest color to it. If you're doing it for something that is digital, definitely use the the hex codes. If you're going to put it into Photoshop and things like that, use the hex codes. Now, even if you put it into Photoshop and you're using Sublimation and you're using a converted EcoTank printer, them colors still going to be jacked up. Okay. So that's why I said they do have them, but it doesn't mean that it's going to yield the color that you desire once you print it out and sub it. I've done a beginner business class. I've come on here. I've talked about it. Y'all don't want to sign up for it. But I've done a beginner's business class. We've done 3 of them so far. This year I have not, scheduled one because y'all didn't show up for the other one. So, some people showed up, but it wasn't what I really expected as far as attendance. With everything I give, y'all should know, come on now, I can help you with your business. And y'all just don't show up. So this year I hadn't scheduled one, but I've done one 3 years in a row. Business, that's my next set of classes. I be all over the place because the info I receive in past times were not complete and steps were missing. So I feel like I'm playing catch up. So with that though, like, okay, I will say in the last one that I did, we went over certain things like, terms and conditions. We went over some tax stuff. We went over, LaShonda helped me out because you were in that one. I believe, yeah, you were in that one, right? Was that one of the ones you were in? I know we went over like, or maybe maybe it was one of the ones I talked about, like Facebook marketing for like grad or something like that. But I talked about like how to use your Facebook page. We talked about how to take orders if you don't have a website, the benefits of websites, things like that. But there is really no specific order. Some people say they want like business, but I don't know at what point you're in. Are you someone where it's like, hey, I am a master at what I do? And before, it was something that was fun for me, but I can do the creations part of it. I can do hair with my eyes closed. I can make candles. I can, I've been washing cars. I've been cutting, I've been doing landscaping, just kind of like on the side. Now I want to make it a business. I want to really know how to, like, I want to have a good logo. I've been using this, but how do I determine like my brand and be willing to, even if you've already done something, to switch it up? How do I go about like really marketing and using social media? I don't always know. And sometimes it's a mixed bag of people who are at different levels. And you've probably taken a class where that was the case as well, where everybody is at a different level and they're probably going into it wanting to teach information where it's like, you haven't done anything, you have no information. This is at least the stuff that you need to know. Like, everybody isn't ready for business credit. Like, you're not ready to learn about business credit yet because you're still trying to like, you haven't even, oh yeah, she says yes, we went over a lot. You haven't even, like, you're still not even secure on what your brand is. You're still calling it a craft business. You're not secure on what your prices are, what your pricing model is, but you're worried about business credit. Okay, if you got this business credit, what are you going to use it for? Oh, I want to use it to get more equipment. You can't even manage the equipment that you have. You're still like, or if you get this equipment, how is it going to help you be more efficient? Does it require you to run it manually? Does it require a lot of maintenance? If you don't have time management for these things now, you're adding on this piece of equipment that requires a lot of maintenance and you can't give it the maintenance. So now you're going to go get this business credit. You're going to end up paying on it and you've blown out the print head. It's messed up. It's clogged. You can't. So you spent all the money on that, but you don't have the money to now like maintain it. I'm a realist. So I'm going to give it to you like raw. And I'm not afraid to tell people, you are not ready for this. I know it looks good. You might see people in groups, but you don't know where they've been. You don't know how long they've been in this. It's not like they woke up and said, okay, yeah, now I want the biggest machine. It may look nice. It's like, okay, well, yep, I want to do this. I want to be a one-stop shop. You can be a one-stop shop when you also have a team of people. You have employees, you have people to help. But trying to be a one-stop shop and a one-man band, it doesn't mix. It doesn't mix. So sometimes it's like really trying, like, I can give general stuff. Some people aren't ready for it. I had someone literally email me and say, this is on the level that you are talking about business. This is more than I was expecting. Can I get a refund? No, you can't get a refund, but we can, just kind of, you have this information when you're ready for it. If you want to kind of scale back, we can schedule a one-on-one session and talk about, some of the things that, you are like this, the area that you're in. Some people think business is, oh, I just want to know how to use my social media and how to price it. But then now when I'm talking to you about business insurance, that there's a difference between liability and property insurance. So many of you guys wanting all of this major equipment, but you don't even have it protected. You're not looking into property insurance. Your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover that equipment. So if something was to happen to your home, some of you guys are renting, you don't have renter's insurance. So if something was to happen to your equipment in that space that you were renting, you now have to start over from ground zero because you don't have renter's insurance. Well, you should have homeowner's insurance, but a lot of the times your homeowner's insurance is just for the property. You don't even have your own personal things covered. So your business things are not going to be covered as well. These are things that I want my students to think about early on before you start investing in all of this equipment. And there's really no thing as like being like arriving. We're all always playing catch up. She says, I'm still not ready, but I'm not giving up. I don't think you have any fingerprints anymore between the glue gun and taking tumblers out. Yeah, baby, I will grab a tumbler out of the oven and not even care. Let's see. I have so many shirts, jackets, jerseys to put my logo on, but check, I'm still trying to figure out my logo, but I have my name. Then don't worry about that's the thing, right? So here's where we're overthinking. It doesn't have to be a logo. It can be just the name. Do you have to have a signature font for it? No. Put your name on the jacket. That way your business is represented when you're out and about in the streets. You should always be a walking billboard. Stop overthinking it. You don't need an official logo. If you have your name, put that ish on your shirt, your jacket, and your jerseys. Jeremiah, can you turn the AC up? It's still registering that your dad isn't home. I love your truth talk right now. It's so true. I appreciate this talk, even for myself, because I need it. Truly need this. Awesome. Glad to be of help. Have you ordered products from Alibaba? How do you select vendors? That's where our paper, our ink comes from. I've gotten tumblers from there. I've gotten other things from there. How do you select vendors? It's a million and one of them. It's no different than you going on Etsy. It's just a marketplace. Sometimes it's a crapshoot. When we got our paper, I got sample packs and I had to pay a lot. Like freight, air freight was $40. Excuse me. $30, $25. I think that the most I paid was maybe $40 to have a small sample of different papers when we were going to do the cutting mats, paying for that to come. So as far as selecting vendors, for me personally, I don't just go and just order a bunch of stuff. I'm going to order samples. Do you pay more for it because you're not buying it in bulk? Yes, but I rather invest that money and so I can test it. Give me a couple of them. I'm going to, if it's a blank, I'm going to press it. I'm going to see this, that, and the third on it. And then I make a decision from there. So you can look at reviews and stuff like that. It's not always about the ones that have been around the longest, because some of the companies on there, they will show as a new company on Alibaba, but they've been around for a long time. It's just that like their old account, either, they lost it. They had to go under new management because people probably reported them. And, they probably had some bad, like not say chargebacks, but like when people like, oh, I didn't get my product, this is messed up. And, a consumer reported them to Alibaba. They had too many strikes. So they basically shut that one down, went under somebody else's name, changed the business name. They're under something else. So just because it seems like they are a newer one, they probably just kind of maybe had like a little rough patch or whatever, but they are a seasoned company. Some of them are actual manufacturers. Some of them are distributors. And then there's ones like, so let's say like the ink, there's really only, I think, 3 companies that actually have the equipment to make the sublimation ink. 3 or 4. A lot of the other companies on there are just distributors and like they bottle it up. So from the bigger companies, they're ordering drums and drums and drums of the sublimation ink or whatever ink it is. They have warehouse space that's big enough to hold bottling and labeling equipment. So they're buying drums of the ink. They have this this big machinery to where they can put all of that ink in it. And that ink, like from those drums, the machines they have is going to fill the bottles, seal them. You know, you have another machine to be able to seal them, and they're going to go and put it on their labeler. So they're not ones that's actually manufacturing. They couldn't tell you anything about the ink. They don't know how it's made. They don't know the profile for it. They don't know anything. They just bottle it up, and because it's so many people that's utilizing all of these different warehouses, that the manufacturers, that they have to sometimes just focus on actually manufacturing the ink. And it's all these other factories across China that will bottle it up, or across Pakistan that will bottle it up. When it comes to sublimation paper, the reason why a lot of people don't make it here is because the pulp is, some of the pulp is illegal to import into the US. Yes, sir. What is that? Oh, you painted?
Yeah.
Good job. Where'd you paint at though? Don't get it on my floor on the bed. Where'd you get that from anyway?
At school.
Oh, okay. Go put it down so you can show Daddy your masterpiece. Is it a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The teacher required I give it to him.
Oh, okay.
And he gave it back to me, and I caught it, but he gave it back to me.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so I have, it's, you know, it's a process. I know for me, if I ever do blanks, like I've done my research and I know there's only 2 companies I would ever order blanks from. But that's just from ordering samples, just knowing from other companies that use those particular companies over there. So yeah, it's just trial and error, ordering samples before you order a big batch from any company. I know I'm not ready to start a business, but would love to learn. You know, you guys will, if you're on the email list and you actually open up my emails, of course, I'll send out the email when we I'll do a live video too, and send out the emails when if I decide to schedule a business class for this year. Incredible greetings. This paper is the bomb diggity facts. Great advice. I've been reading reviews, but afraid to click the order button. Don't order a bunch, order a small amount and test it out. New here. Did I hear you mention on a previous live that you sublimate tumblers in your home oven? I've always heard against that. Anybody want to answer? Do I sub in my home oven? I wish I can turn on my camera right now and show you this tumbler that literally just came out of the oven. All right, so I'm gonna just put this instead of advertising for them, guys. Y'all ask some questions that are not let me show you on the computer type questions, and I'm not camera ready, so you're just gonna look at my website as I discuss this. You know, so yes, she says yes, nothing wrong with it. Okay, so rather unique, let me ask you this, right? Do you sublimate with any type of press, whether it is a press for like a flatbed press for shirts, a mug press, or a tumbler press? Do you currently do any sublimation in a press? Yes, many at a time. I've done up to, I normally do 15. Like I'd actually probably put a little bit more, but I try and do no more than 15 to give it space. But yeah, up to 15. I can probably fit 21 in there. 20 in there. She sure does. Sorry, I just followed 2 days ago and I've been begging to find out because I will literally start today if I can do that. I sublimate on a Cricut press. Even it's even better. Okay, so some people, hey, just say, will say that it is toxic. It's going to get on it's going to stick in your oven. It's going to get on your food, blah, 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 blah. So here's the thing with that, right? If we can sublimate on an open bed press, something that is open, and we're not wearing, like some people say they do because they just can't take, like, you know, they have a garment that has a lot of steam. It's more so from the garment that has moisture in it, or you're using a ink that has a higher water concentration than toner powder and things like, well, like just like how they make sublimation ink. So it can produce a lot of steam for, or and vapors for certain things, and for certain substrates, they emit a certain smell. But it's not that sublimation. Sublimation in of itself is just a process. It's not like, technically, what is it, dry ice goes through sublimation. It's not just in what we do, like that's called dye sublimation. But sublimation is a scientific process that applies to a lot of different things. And it's a gas. It's not a gas that's on the periodic table. It's not a toxic gas. Gas meaning it turns into a vapor. That's basically, it goes through a gaseous state. It's not liquid. It's not solid. That is what sublimation means. So if we're able to do it on an open bed press and it doesn't us, you know, I don't understand why people then say if you do it in an oven where your food is, even if you were to do it in a dedicated oven, if the fumes were toxic, once you open up that oven, those fumes, it's a gas, it's a vapor, it's free flowing. That would still leave that oven and come out, and you would breathe it in. Also, if we think about what a vapor is, what steam is, what a gas is, it's going to be free flowing. Why would it stick to the walls of this oven when the ink is not even on it? You get a completed project from the ink touching the sublimated or the poly-coated substrate, or it has to be polyester fabric. When there is not complete contact with that substrate, what do we get? We get ghosting. We get voids. So how is it that if the paper is touching the substrate, but if there's even a gap, no ink or no gas, like the image doesn't transfer? But there are people that think that it will transfer to the walls and stick to that. If it's going to stick to the walls, why in the hell didn't it stick to the substrate with that little air gap? It makes, like, if people just apply common sense and just apply logic, they will understand that this thing that they are scared of makes absolutely zero sense. It makes no sense. So just in of itself, it is not toxic. It's not harmful. Now, if you want to take it up another level, I'm going to need you to go to this website and get this paper. Now, certain papers, they will bleed out the back. So I guess one would say some of the gas is getting out into the oven, but it still doesn't mean that it is sticking to the walls. If it don't stick to, if it doesn't stick to like if you were to use like a regular ceramic mug, the subprint isn't even going to stick to it because it's not coated for sublimation. So if everything we know, it's not coated for sublimation, it doesn't fully transfer, why do we think that it's going to stick inside of a oven that's not coated for a sublimation? Please make it make sense. And why would it stick to the wall and wait until you get food in the oven? So all this time in between when you did it, it's now cooled down. Is it really just sitting there waiting for you to put your food in the oven? And for me, I know a lot of times my food covered up with aluminum foil anyway, you know, to steam it all up. So it's not really going to get on my food anyway. But that's just, that lets me know half of folk don't cook. But hey, that's not my business. But if you get like A-Sub and other brands, when you sublimate it and you see the image, that means that it is gassing out of the back. All of the gas is not going towards the substrate. But if you get this paper that's on your screen, our paper does not bleed out the back. So nothing is going into your oven at all, because you're going to seal the ends with heat tape. Nothing comes out of the back. So even if you were still like, I don't know, Professor, get the paper, because it absolutely does not bleed out of the back. She says, you are now the love of my life. Oh my gosh. She's like, that's crazy. I've thought the same. I'm guessing you sent an emoji. Yes, the gas is just waiting for me to turn the oven back on. Yeah, that's how they act. It's like, come on now. If that's the case, I can save a lot of tape. Wait, let me see. What was your question? Oh yeah. So taping wise, I put 5 pieces of tape along the seam, and then I use painter's tape. Painter's tape can be heated up to 450 degrees. Our paper, you put it in your oven at about 365, 375. You're nowhere near that 450 degrees. So then we put the 5 pieces of, honestly speaking, heat tape that can be heated up to 500 some degrees. You're putting that on there. You're going to cover it with the painter's tape. You're going to wrap it. Then we just put a piece around the top and bottom. And then, of course, because it's no pressure, you have to seal it. We use our 2-inch heat tape for that. So it's not, my method is not a lot of tape. You're not taping the entire thing, and it's all safe. You put it in an oven and you get the best tumblers. It doesn't have to be a convection oven. It's a standard conventional oven. Because it is huge, the air or the hot air is distributed evenly, and your tumblers are not going to be right up in a compact situation, like a compact oven, right up, like right next to the heating element. It's going to sit way above it and way below it. So you can just put it in there. It doesn't have to have circulating air. The reason why we say, or we recommend to get a convection oven or an air fryer if you're doing a smaller one, is because that tumbler is going to be too close to the heating element. So the circulating air allows it to kind of like not burn. So yeah, but you're going to love your tumblers coming out of your oven. I personally don't use sleeves. I only use heat tape and painter's tape. So some people like the sleeves because they think that it will give you more pressure. Sometimes it's like for hand strength. Like, feeling like, okay, well, I can't pull the tape, or they think that they're saving. Some people feel like, oh, if I have to use all this tape to do it, I just need to create the pressure. But all shrink wraps are not created equal. You have some of them, I mean, the minute heat hits it, you're getting like, it'll burn a hole in it. And now that's compromising the strength of like that suction and keeping that pressure on it. So you can't really tell if it's good heat tape. Good shrink wrap. A lot of the shrink wrap that comes with tumblers is actually cheap ones. Now Johnson's Plastics has some amazing shrink wrap, but you end up paying extra for that. And by the time you calculate like that shrink wrap, I'm using pennies of heat tape and painter's tape. So for me, shrink wraps for tumblers are pointless. She says, Professor for life. I love your paper and ink. Gotcha. Not being funny, but sometimes I forget to put paper on top of my design. So when I press it, transfers to the heat press plate, and then I press something else and it will transfer it. With who paper? You can't be using honestly speaking zone now. But other papers that bleed through, yes. But you can't be referring to honestly speaking paper. And if you are having that issue, I highly recommend that you go to the site, because right now 8.5 by 14 and 11 by 17 is on sale for grad season. So I highly recommend that you go over to the website and get some, because you'll never have that problem again. You don't even have to use butcher paper. But if you're using art paper and you're saying that's happening, then you might be printing on the wrong side. But I stand 10 toes down on that. Art paper will never bleed through the back. Never. What about creating rhinestone design slow studio? What about it? What is your specific question about that? Hey friend, how you doing? Now, if you are using honesty speaking paper and you're experiencing that, we need to talk, because somehow you must have got a bad batch. I got kicked out of a group because I told them they could use their oven. I don't know why so many, like, these group, like, they're so it's like, just listen. And then I hate when you go and you do it and then they go and they Google something as if, like, it's not believable that I'm not a regular crafter, or, just someone that just pulled it out of thin air. Like, or if you say, like, if I say I have a science background, prove it. Show me this, show me that. Where's the proof? And I'm like, I am the proof. I'm telling you, like, I've done these experiments. Like, I've done this myself. Like, I know science. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I chose not to go to anybody's college, but I mean, my ASVAB scores for the military, I missed all of 4 questions. I had my choice of any job in the military except for a linguist and something else. I literally missed 4 freaking questions. I know a little something about a little something. But I go and they say that, and it's like, because I'm in a craft group, I can't be a credible source for this information. Like, these people are nuts. They're wacko. I have to try your paper when I do my order this weekend. Awesome. Oh, no. So I said that, like, I said, if you're using, so the gases still won't stick to the oven. So when you are pressing it, that is, you're putting the what's that thing called? You're putting the heat press directly to the back of the paper. So it is gassing out and going straight to that. But for a tumbler to be in the middle of an oven and it gases out, it's going to be much of nothing by the time it reaches the walls of it. But for a heat press, yes, you're pressing directly on top of it. So it's no different than you having it directly to the like directly to the substrate. Because that paper gases out of the back, it's going to attach itself to your heat press. And most heat press platens are Teflon coated. That is a synthetic fiber. It will stick to that and it will gas back off, which is why you shouldn't technically use Teflon, because that can take the ink and then transfer it onto something else. Oh, yeah. See, yeah, not our paper. I was going to say, wait a minute now. But yeah, you don't have that problem when you use our paper. The process for cutting afterwards, I believe. I thought I brought all the material and I've been afraid to cut the file. Well, that's on you. I mean, I don't have any advice for you. You just need to cut the file. You cut the file, you brush it in. Like, so you're already there. If you're, creating a file is something different, get you if it's something that's new, don't try to create and then do it. Get you a pre-made file that's made for whatever size stones you're going to use. Just cut it. If it's a star, if it's a heart, if it's a letter, whatever it is, get a pre-made file that's made for whatever size stones that you have. Cut it out just so that you can learn the cut settings. Your first one, it may not cut. All the holes may not cut through. That's why you want to keep it small. And, like, as I do everything, I'm always telling you guys, test. The viewers on TikTok, they saw when I tested even myself, I was doing a design for a stole. I had to verify the colors. So I did test prints of that, pressed it to some scrap fabric, so that I knew exactly how it was going to come out. I'm always going to recommend that you do test, especially when it's something that's new. You don't try and do a big 12 by 12. Do use some smaller designs. That way you can take note, like, dial in some numbers and settings. Okay, did all of them cut out? Okay, the ones on this side cut, but the ones over here didn't. Okay, well, let me adjust my pressure, write down what these settings are. And once you get it to a setting where all of them cut out, you don't have to go and poke them then that's your setting. Then you can try something, bigger. Again, don't worry about designing it. Do a file that's already made for it so you can cut it out. Then you're going to brush your stones in, try and lift it up. That's how you're going to know. Do you have good transfer tape? Do you have sucky transfer tape? Some transfer tapes are very, very thin and loose to where as soon as you transfer it, you lift it up, you're not too careful, you pop it, all them damn stones coming off. And it's like, I know you effing lying. Some of them are stronger, they're stiffer to where they're going to stick to it. These are things that are trial and error. I don't know what supplies you purchase, but you want to just be able to test and see the quality of the supplies that you have. I had some flock that I tried to use, and man, that junk left all kind of black stuff on my fingers. She says, you did about 6 different test prints for that stole to make sure that the colors were what you wanted. Yep, I don't play about that kind of stuff. I saw about 7 folks on YouTube shoving tumblers in ovens, LOL. I didn't know that was an issue until this combo. Yeah, oh man. In certain groups, they go wet. I did this one video, and it's me putting tumblers next to a pizza in the oven. Oh, them people went crazy. It was somebody that went into a group and was talking about me, and they tagged the video, and she's a professor and she's teaching people and she's doing this. She's gonna her family, she's gonna have them sick and cancer, and she's gonna be sued. And I'm just like, oh my God, it was hilarious the way they were going in on me. I just tried some UV DTF stickers. The guy got to do them over some of them are not sticking to the glass. Some of them not releasing for the transfer tape. Then that would be more so like on them and the film that they are using, the transfer tape that they are using. You can also try letting it sit for a little bit, the same way that you would do adhesive vinyl. And try and burnish it really good, let it sit, and then try taking it off. Yes, my love.
The tooth fairy came. I got a blow. It was ripped yesterday.
It was ripped yesterday? Yeah. We found that. Where you got that one from?
The tooth fairy?
Yeah, but where was this sticker at? In your room?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was under my pillow.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was under my blanket.
Under your blanket?
Yeah, tooth fairy came. The other one was ripped.
The other one ripped? The other one ripped, but she gave you another one?
Yeah, it did rip. He'll give me more and more and more. It did one rip.
And that one rip, she's going to give you more and more and more?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think the Tooth Fairy has an infinite amount of stickers. She can give you a sticker whenever she wants.
Hooray.
Hooray. Okay, goodbye. Bye. That video caused a lot of controversy. Why were you singled out from everyone else using the same process? I mean, there aren't a lot of people who openly say that so I'm not talking about just a regular oven. The issue was that I was using my home oven that I actually cook in, is why they had their panties in a bunch. I'm new to Sublimation, so I'll be following you and getting better versed. Thank you for your realness and happy blessed birthday, Queen. Thank you. Have you pressed a shirt that you left sitting for 2 weeks? How did it turn out? Wait, have you pressed a print? Oh, I have pressed a print that I've had for a year, like purposely. When was that? I think we did that. I forgot when I did it. Oh, I printed it out for some live that I did, and then I purposely left it to not press it for a year. It doesn't matter when you printed it. As long as it didn't get wet and it has water droplets on it, it will last, and you keep it where it's like secure. Yeah. It doesn't expire or doesn't like not transfer as well. And it was a year old. It's tomorrow, but thank you. I'll be 4 to 3 tomorrow. Yours was last Saturday. MJ's own was the 20th. So me and him are 10 days apart. Oh, yeah, you fall in Gemini land. You know what? Mind your business, ma'am, because I do. Mind your business. Actually, one of them I just undid, but the other one I was like, I need it for visual purposes. Yes, I still have it wrapped. Leave me alone, LaShonda. See, when you say it, it sounds crazy. I heard I have to print on my printer daily to keep the ink wet. Is this the only way to keep it running well? That's another urban myth. So, um, for certain printers, you can print every day and it's still gonna clog. Technically, when it comes to the EcoTank printers, that are not 16600 and 16650, they use dye-based inks. Dye-based inks are thinner than sublimation inks. Sublimation inks is more the same consistency of pigment ink, which is why workforce printers were always great printers, or like the 16600, 16650. These smaller printers also are not meant to be workhorses. If you look at what their recommended print cycle is and how many prints they recommend per day, a lot of people are exceeding that, and you're going to wear down your printer a lot faster. And you are now using an ink that is a little bit thicker. So at any point, everybody who uses a converted EcoTank printer, whether you use it every day or not, you run the risk of it kind of clogging. Like a cartridge based one, because it sits right over the print head, you don't really have that issue. And even if you do, you can push air and kind of like clear the line. EcoTank printers, you can't do that. EcoTank printers, because there are lines that go from the tank to the little cartridge on the inside, um, they can also backflow. So the idea is if you keep it running and you're keeping it printing, it doesn't have time to backflow. And if it backflows, you're introducing air into the line and you can't push air out. So even with like doing sometimes the print head cleaning, things like that, there's an air pocket that's there that's really hard to kind of knock out. You want to, I can't even say what you like. To know me is to know that I do not recommend. I despise EcoTank printers. Today I cringed because a commercial came on with Shaq and it's showing Epson cartridges. Cartridges, ew. But I'm like, how you gonna downplay your own product? Like, I don't even understand that. So that alone turns me off about Epson and EcoTank printers, because I'm like, you're not even referring to like a HP or Canon type cartridge or Brother cartridge. You doing this commercial with your own cartridges saying cartridges are bad, yet you continue to make printers that use cartridges. Epson, please make it make sense, because right now it's not making very much sense to me, okay? The business is not business. The marketing is not marketing for me. But that's a whole nother story as to why I despise, like, I just think that they plan with people's intelligence when it comes to EcoTank printers. So that's just a whole nother thing. And then EcoTank printers are made at a lower quality than workforce and cartridge based printers. So that's like another thing. That's why they constantly clog so much. And the only reason why Epson is pushing a lot of EcoTank printers is because they know that you guys are converting them. The reason why they don't make, ever since the 16600, they haven't made any of the small format printers as a pigment ink printer. They only made the one that was $1,000 and $1,100 a pigment ink printer. All the other ones use dye-based inks. Why? Because if you contact them and say, hey, I'm having a problem with my printer, Send me a picture of the ink tank windows. Oh, those are not dark inks. I can see yellow. I can see blue. I can see magenta. That means you put a different ink in there. Guess what? We don't have to help you. You have shown us evidence that you have voided your warranty. Goodbye, and can hang up. I don't like that, Epson. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So, yeah, they're going to go out no matter what because they're just not great printers. So a month isn't, I mean, I'm gonna knock on wood for you, but it's set powered on for a month. I've not had any clogs yet. So if you just got it a month ago, it's not really enough time for it to kind of piss you the hell off. But I hope that it can last you a couple months. It's definitely not a printer for the long haul. It's not meant to be a workhorse. Have you seen the Canon converted? I was scared to do so. Oh, you've had it for 2 years, but you said for a month. What you mean? Did you have it off for a month? But see, there's someone that says, so if you had it off for a month and it's still working, there's someone that's saying that she didn't have any issues with it. Mine clogged up, both of mine. I had a 7820 and a 7320, a 2720 and a 2803, and they both clogged. So, and I was using them. One of them even was using for like a regular printer and with the regular ink, and it still clogged. So Canon printers are not heat-free printers, so they should not be used for sublimation. There is a young man, or I'm gonna say young man because I don't even know how old he is, that the printer that I have, the Canon TC20, it's a 24-inch printer, and he put sublimation ink in it. He says that it's working, but because it uses heat, you are losing some of those sublimation properties, like as it's printing out onto the paper. He says that it's working, but I don't know what the long-term effects of using, the sub ink and how it will affect like your actual prints, because that is not a heat-free printer. It uses heat. Oh, she says she's always leaves it powered on. Oh, so just leaving it, are you saying that you leave it powered on, but you're not printing every day? Let's see. Sounds like I should send it back and get this. Okay, so the 16600, which printer did you get? But the 16600 is $1,000 printer. It is still wide format, but it uses pigment ink. So your colors are going to even be better with the 16600 than any of the other printers. The tacky rolls are on pre-order right now. The pre-order window will close. It was supposed to close May 10th, but we didn't meet our minimum quantity. I'm hoping that by tomorrow, Friday evening, we meet the minimum quantity, but the pre-order is available right now. Very rude and disrespectful. Mine is not out of the box. I need a stallion. Oh, okay, yeah. So she's saying she just had hers powered on, but she wasn't printing every single day, and it did not clog. But that's not always the fate for some people. Some people, they'll have it and it clogs right away. Some people are printing and like they, let's say like around Christmas time when they had all these orders and they were pumping out all of these tumbler wraps and stuff like that, and it just stopped on them. And that was more so because they were printing every day and printing a large amount every single day, and the printer just couldn't handle it. Sometimes when it does that, instead of trying to keep printing and printing and printing and printing, if you just leave it alone, let it sit for a couple of days, a lot of times it will just kind of fix itself because it just needed a break. Oh, we're right at 2 hours. Okay. Oh, Papa, I'm going to give you your medicine. All right, y'all. I thank you guys so much. Yeah, the 2803 is the one. So that's a small format. So it'll be a big jump as far as size and price to go from the 2803 to the 16600. Yeah, big difference in price and size. Size of the printer and size of like that you can print to. That printer is huge. 16600 is a huge printer. Oh, that's so cool. The birthday post. That is so cool. Uh-oh, hold on. I'm looking because I'm seeing notifications and I'm making sure that it wasn't people posting in groups because I can't see your comments on the video if you posted in a group before I close out. Did you work any more on your design? Just a little bit. I got to take screenshots and post it for what we did in class yesterday. I mean, one of them. I did adjust the angel one a little bit. I add embossing to it. And I added drop shadow around her. So I did modify this one a little bit.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom.
1 second, bud. Alrighty, y'all. Well, I thank you guys so very much for hanging out with me for my last live Q&A session. Looks like it's jumping off the page. Yep. So thank you guys for joining me for my last live session. You don't see how to pre-order? I actually probably need to make that. You know what? Let me change that right now because I can change out one of these. Because I don't even have these anyway. Let me hold on. I'm gonna change this live right now. That's one of the things I love about, but it's there. It's down here with everything else. So it's right there and it says pre-order. But I'm gonna change it. 1 second, bud. Can you actually bring me your medicine, please? And stop being a ghost. Stop. I'm still live, bud. But I need you to bring me your medicine, please. Ooh, bring me your medicine, please. Zani, Mani, even.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Ow, boy. Stop.
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Buddy, if you don't stop, I know something.
Sorry.
Here. Okay, thank you. Change, select from library. Oh, wait, that one actually won't say pre-order. Um, Actually, does it say? Oh, that's why too. This I thought the thumbnail said pre-order. I actually need to change the thumbnail to say pre-order. That's probably why some people don't see it. I don't know why I thought it did say pre-order. Um, Actually, we're just going to hide that one. And we're going to add a featured product. Let's change this one. Change product. Pre-order. Select, save, and let's watch it update in real time. There it is. Okay, so the question right now is why is the one tacky? So we do have, okay, now if you want, I should take this is actually not supposed to be on here. Unless you just want to wait for you one to cheap price. But fast dry is available right now. So the fast dry rolls are available right now. Tacky is sold out. Mainly, most people probably get the tacky on the pre-order. Tacky is for fabrics only. What the recommended use for it is when you want to do oversized things so that it sticks to it. So tacky paper creates a temporary stick when you press. So you have to pre-press your fabric to remove the moisture. So that's one of the biggest difference. With the fast dry, you don't have to pre-press. You just put it down and you press it. But with tacky, because it has that temporary adhesive on it, you have to pre-press to remove the moisture, and then you press it. So if you are someone that wants to towel your shirts, by it being on a roll, all Epson printers print up to 47 inches long. So all Epson printers print up to 47 inches long. So you can go and print an 8.5 inch wide by 36 by 40, depending on like your shirt. And then you would do maybe 3 or 4 of those prints versus printing out individual sheets of paper, like 9 sheets of paper, 12 sheets of paper, and taping them together individually. You print it out as one long piece, and then you print it out as one long piece for all the different sections, and you tape just those 3 or 4 sections together. And then when you're putting it on the shirt, it will have a temporary tack. So now when you move it, the air that you already pressed, it's going to be stuck to the fabric, and you can move it and not worry about your paper shifting and causing like ghosting or causing like a shift in it. And you're going to see like the shift where like you press that and stuff like that. I use it for stoles. I use it for ties. I use it for towels, things of that nature. So it's for fabrics only. We do have, I think we may still have some tacky sheets, and some people like the tacky sheets for shirts. I still prefer fast dry for the shirt, for them. But some people like the tacky paper for just shirts in general. So they do serve 2 different purposes. Some people like the tacky rolls and being able to cut it longer, and they create basically gang sheets. I don't like gang sheets because to me it's extra work to cut them down. I rather print to a single sheet of paper. Also, when you are like, I have a converted printer that's a cartridge based. and it can stop in the middle of a print at any time. And even with with EcoTank printers, when you have like Wi-Fi issues, I've had it happen to me before where it stops at the end of a print, and it kind of sucks because now you have to print that whole thing over compared to it being like one single sheet. So there are pros and cons to it, because if something happens in the middle of your print, it stops, you lose power, you lose Wi-Fi, you can't just go and just now send that back through and reprint it. um I mean, you can print like just the end, cut it off, and tape it together if you want to do it that way. But for the most part, it just kind of sucks when yeah, it definitely sucks when it stops in the middle of a long print. Oh, it really hurts your heart when it's right at the end. Oh, I think this was on here because I think this time we added the 17-inch fast drive for the F570. I think that's why the fast drive came up. It was more so for the 17-inch for the F570. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.